Football is back. Well, preseason football anyways. For some fans, that distinction is the biggest difference in the world, and for others, they're just happy to see their boys back on the field. For the players, it's a completely different story. For the starters, it's time to refine their skills and get chemistry before the season. Late in games, you get to see the lesser-known players battle for a chance for a roster spot. The most intriguing part of preseason is to see the camp battles in the middle of the games. Camp battles? No, not battles and pushing and shoving after a hard day of practice, although those are fun and entertaining as well. But the coach's judgment on who's the best player, thus giving the winner the higher roster spot. The Minnesota Vikings have one of the most talented rosters heading into the 2018 season in camp, so the battles will be extremely interesting.
12 seconds to go in the game. Niners lead by 4. He'll fire to the right side.
Let's start off with maybe my favorite battle in all of camp, and that's for the third string running back. The emergency running back to play behind the Pro Bowl caliber duo of backs in all likelihood won't see a lot of playing time during the regular season, but it will make a big difference to the lucky winner's paycheck. The position is completely up for grabs. So the very first option we will look at is C.J. Ham. Basically, the inked-in starter at fullback for the upcoming year could double up as the emergency back very easily. Running back is his natural position, and if the Vikings are on the fence about keeping a fullback, this would solidify his roster spot. This would be the easiest move to make, especially if the Vikings want to bring extra help somewhere else. Next, we have a pair of undrafted rookies that have been shining a lot in camp. Starting with Mike Boone, an undrafted with receiving background, could help get the call as a receiving back, and he's also shown a very explosive running plays so far in training camp and during preseason games. Next is Dwayne "The Rock" Thomas. Thomas has a really good chance to be a cheap, long-term backup to Dalvin Cook. He was once a top 5 recruit with all the talent to warrant giving him a roster spot, and if he was staying on the roster long enough, he could have a chance to reform his ability and really work on his craft to keep on improving. Next position is the third string tight end. This battle is very important. The Vikings decided to keep 3 tight ends on the roster. Battling to be behind Kyle Rudolph and David Morgan is Blake Bell and Tyler Conklin. Starting off with Blake Bell. Blake will be in his 4th season in the NFL, notching 22 receptions for 290 career yards as a backup tight end. Blake has all the tools to be a very solid tight end, but has yet to put up his skills on the stat sheet. Next is the Vikings' 5th round rookie tight end Tyler Conklin. He made a living in college as a tactical receiving tight end, meaning he wasn't the quickest, wasn't the biggest, but he was very good at route running, and when the ball got there, he made sure to catch it. He showed toughness battling through a foot injury. The injury slowed him down in college, and it remains a question if he can get consistent separation against NFL defenders. Next is the 3rd string wide receiver. The Vikings' number 3 receiver will be more of a loose label than a full-on roster designation. Who the 3rd receiver option relies more on the situation than straight up who's better. That being said, playing time gap margin will be decided very soon in camp. Starting off, the Vikings' former 1st round pick Laquan Treadwell has already been written off as a bust by many fans, but he has been showing a very good production in camp, being a leading touchdown receiver. Treadwell has a ton of naysayers to prove wrong, which should produce a boulder-sized chip on his shoulder. Next is wide receiver Kendall Wright. Wright was signed this offseason as a replacement to Jarius Wright. Kendall caught 59 passes for just over 600 yards last year in a dismal Bears offense, which would be a solid for a 3rd receiving option. Next, to round out the wide receiver 5/6, depending on how many the Vikings keep. This battle could be a difference from practice squad money or the big bucks. The winner won't see a ton of playing time, but a slim chance is better than none. First is wide receiver Brandon Zystra. I would guess Zystra is currently the front runner, as he's been putting up a show in camp. He's a 6'2" undrafted free agent from Concordia who continues to impress in camp. Next is wide receiver Tavares King, the veteran wideout. The Vikings required this free agency from the Giants. The 28-year-old has caught 22 passes for 303 yards, who brings deep ball catching ability to the table. Next is wide receiver Corey Robertson, the very physical undrafted wide receiver from Southern Miss. He could easily be compared to a young Antoine Bolden. He doesn't have the athletic tools, but a very tough physical receiver. Next, a homeboy, Jake Winicki, the 6'4" undrafted free agent from SDSU, has the size the Vikings would love to turn into a red zone monster, and you've seen him effectively use his big size better than a certain Laquan Treadwell thus far. Next, we go to the offensive line, starting on the right side, right tackle, with the Vikings' 2017 right tackle Mike Remmers presumably moving to guard from tackle. The right tackle spot is now wide open. Two major concessions. Number one, the last year backup tackle Rashad Hill. Hill was the body who filled in at right tackle last year due to various injuries on the line. He played well at times but got absolutely worked in the championship game. He will have to prove that he can handle top level edge rushers and be a consistent enough tackle to play all year at right tackle. Next option is rookie Brian O'Neill, the rookie right tackle from Pittsburgh, who was quickly given a project player label. He started out as a tight end, so he has athletic ability to block in space, but early in college he switched to tackle, and thus he'll have to add more weight to his frame and get his footwork down to win the job. You've seen him start last week in week 2, and he did a fairly good job, so this competition is still very close. Sliding down the offensive line, we land at left guard. A last-minute addition to this list due to the injury of presumed starting left guard Nick Easton. With half the guard tree filled out by veteran Mike Remmers, we will have to fill out the other half before the season starts, or if nobody can win the job on the team, we might have to look elsewhere. Currently on the roster, the two competing, starting off with second-year guard Danny Isidora. The second-year guard who was a fine backup last year. He was excellent in moving defenders in the run game, but struggled against the pass rush at times. If he can improve on his pass protection and gain consistency, he won't only win the starting job for 2018, but he could be featured as the Vikings' long-term starter at left guard. And that second option is veteran Tom Compton. The newly acquired veteran offensive guard, Compton is entering his 7th NFL season, has played in only 5 games, starting only 1. Despite his status as a veteran, he's still an unknown and an unproven player that will have to prove very quickly that he's more than just a career backup. And Compton has experience at all the line positions. I really see him as just a Jeremiah Searles. Moving to the other side of the ball, we go to defense and to the only real battle on defense at Nickleback. The slot corner has turned into practically a starting job that tolls a lot of pressure and responsibilities. The first option is Mackenzie Alexander. Mac has been the main man in the slot for the last couple of years and has made big strides, but it seems the Vikings want to move him to the outside where he played more in college, where he is better overall. Next option is Mike Hughes. The Vikings' first-round rookie looks like a prototypical slot corner. He's got the size to cover the bigger slot receivers and the speed and agility to take care of the smaller ones. And he's not afraid to come up and make tackles. The Vikings would have to decide if the rookie is ready to play one of the most difficult positions in the NFL. The third option is Terrence Newman. Newman has been playing football since they invented dirt. He knows it all and played it all. Good tackler with the most football knowledge on the field. Only question is, does he have the speed to keep up with the quicker receivers? The next is over and done. Kicker. Was it ever truly a battle? Well, the media hyped it up as one, so it made my list. The first option was Kai Forbath, the veteran kicker that took over the job from Blair Walsh and was perfect for the remainder of that season, only missing 3 PATs, but then fell off last year, kicking only 84% of his field goals and a worrisome 87% from PATs, which was second worst in the NFL. And now, rookie kicker Daniel Carlson, the Vikings rookie 5th round kicker, who has a monstrous leg and he will have to improve on. Oh wait, the Vikings drafted him, he's already won the job. Lastly, on this list, the very last battle, Kirk Cousins versus nobody. The most pleased story for all Vikings fans. No competition, no three-way, who's gonna win it? No. Is it going to be Bradford? Is it going to be Teddy? Is it going to be Keenum? Is it no competition at quarterback for once? The Vikings fans can live easily for the next 3 years. No competition at quarterback. Locked in. All on Kirk. Well, give me your thought. What's your favorite battle in camp? Mine is running back. I want you guys to tell me in the comments who you want to win at running back. There is that chance maybe the Vikings could keep 4. Presumably if CJ Ham just is that fullback, it's you basically Mike Boone or Rock Thomas. Could they both make the roster? I'm not too sure. Would the Vikings maybe want to move Murray? Tell me your thoughts on what you want the Vikings to do at that position in the comments. And we'll see you guys in the next Vikings video. And sorry for this being really late. I really wanted this to come out before preseason games started. The writing for the script took a lot longer as I wanted to do it for an article. But here we are. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys then.